Hello everyone, welcome to the Mercury Virtual. Hope you are doing good. Today I am going to continue with your same module, that is the research skills, and the same chapter, that is the chapter number 5 that we have discussed in the last class, that is how to use or what are the various Alberta Education Society or what are the various approaches that is used before the research, that is what are the various function that is used before the research, that is a last topic that we have discussed. So let's start with the previous class session what we have covered in the last class, then move to our today's topic, that is today's topic is how to use the various cooperative planning, how to use the various parts of the cooperative planning, or what are the various perspectives to the planning. So let's start with the previous class session what we have covered in the last class. In the last class we have started with the Alberta Education Program of Study, that is what is the Alberta Education Program of Study, or what is the program of study that is defined by the Alberta, that is the Alberta Education Program of Study. So this is the Alberta Education Program of Study that we have discussed. That is how the Alberta Education Program is studied about in the various stages. That is the stage number 1 that we have studied. This is related to the various subjects, that is social science, science, mathematics, language arts. Then stage number 2 is the information retrieval, that includes the gathering the information, research technique, that is also a part of the social science and the science. Then stage 3 is the information processing, that is how to process the information or what is the criteria to process the information, that is the information processing. That contains the interpret the information, develop a conclusion or solution to synthesize the data, that is the stage number 3, that is information processing. That includes reflect and decide, develop a plan. Then stage number 4 is information sharing, that is stage number 4, that includes the communicate effectively, take the action, carry out the plan. Then stage number 5 is the evaluation, that is evaluate the decision and the process, that is how to evaluate, what are the various methods to evaluate the decision and the process, that is stage number 5, that contained in the various subjects. So these stages, or there are 5 stages, and that contains in various subjects like social studies, science, mathematics and the English. Then the chapter number 5 that we also discussed in the last class, and this chapter is basically used for the inexperienced teacher who are not experienced. I'm not saying they are not literate, they are literate, but they are not fully efficient or experienced in integrating the research activity into their curriculum. So this chapter is beneficial to those teachers. What will I find in this chapter? That is how to plan a research activity, then what are the various guidelines and consideration that is taken out for the research activity, a sample research activity unit plan. So that is what will I find in this chapter, that is a chapter number 5, that is the before the research. So teacher who are inexperienced in integrating the research, that is they are not fully efficient or experienced in integrating the research activity, will find this chapter very interesting into merging the into the curriculum with the proper planning. This is one of the example, this is one of the picture that shows how the teachers or how the students will integrate or various technology into the planning or various research into the planning. So planning is a way of caring because it minimizes the risk. This is one of the important quote that is given by the K. Haycock. Because without planning, if I'm not plan something, if there is some happen, there is a risk. But if I'm planning something, if I plan out something, so it minimizes the risk. So planning is a way of caring because it minimizes the risk. And whenever I integrate the research into the curriculum, that is also evolutionary. And for teachers who are new to integrating the research activities, it begins slowly. So for the teacher who are new to the integrating the research activity, they begin slowly, they are doing slowly, and teacher and the student experience the positive development in teaching methods and the skill. That is what are the various teaching methods, what are the various skills that is used for the teaching methods. And how do I work with someone else to initiate the research? This is the next question. That is done by the cooperative planning. So if the teacher and the librarian cooperate with each other, that is the student, teacher, librarian cooperate with each other, share their information with each other, that is one of the important way to plan out the research. That is one of the important research skill that is used. So how do I use work with someone else to initiate the research? The ideal situation for developing a research unit occurs when the team teaching or the cooperative planning occurs between the teacher librarian or teacher between the teachers. So it depends whether it is a teacher librarian or the teacher or between the teachers also. That is a research unit that occurs between the team members or the team teaching or the cooperative planning. And the following description shows what are the various cooperative planning methods that have been adopted in the various social science data. So this is the cooperative planning. So that is a unit or the mini unit that involves a teacher and a teacher librarian, that uses the teacher or that uses the library as the primary. So that means the teacher and the teacher librarian jointly together or jointly get together to make the plan out, to make the research activity, to make the skills that is used for the research, and they use the library as a primary source. That means library is the source in which they can sit, they can use, they can plan out that is known as a cooperative planning. That means they cooperate with each other and there will be a planning that is taken out by the cooperative planning. The first step is to set up the objectives for the unit and plan the activities with the teacher librarian. That is, what are the various activities, what are the various objectives that is carried out for the teacher or that is carried out with the teacher librarian. And the use of the library skills should be integrated into the plan. So whatever the library skill that is used, so that should be integrated into the plan. And the extra resource person also allows for the variations in the group size. That is, what are the various group size in which the variation will be taken place. So what are the various extra resource persons, or what are the various extra resource places that is carried out for the various groups. For example, whole group teaching. So it depends on the group whether it is a group, so how they communicate with each other. And these are the various outcomes of the cooperative planning. That is, what are the various, we can say, the pros and the cons of the cooperative planning. The first is said the student will get together in the groups and come up with the list of the similarities and differences between the algebra and the cubac. That is, the student get together in the groups, they are get together in the groups and come up with the various similarities and the differences. That is, what is the similar things, what are the various difficulties or differences that takes place between the algebra and the cubac. And the teacher and the teacher librarian circulate to assist the students. Then as a class, the student must come up with a composite list. That means, first of all, they are grouped together, they find out the similarities, differences, then they club together, they find the activities that is divided into various occupation categories that includes the geography, resources, occupation, leisure activity, languages and the customer. And the whole chart of the categories is made by the teacher or the teacher librarian during the discussion. That means what they have done, that is made out in the chart, that is made out in the whole chart. Then next is the teacher and the teacher librarian explain to the student, that is what they complete their task and what is left the task. And group of the 3 or 2 for children where they gather the information, they can circulate the information. So this is one of the example that is divided into various categories. That is, one is a viewing station, then interviewing station, then listening station, then reading station. So these are the different categories of the different example. That is the same task is divided into 4 parts, so that the one part is taken by the one group, one part is taken by the one group, so that the work is divided among the various teammates, so that the work can flow easily, can make the sequence, can make the systematic arrangement of the data. The next is the teacher planning. That means what is the planning of the teacher, that is also a part of the cooperative planning. So cooperative planning of a unit or mini unit with the colleagues, that means there is no librarian that is involved. In this the librarian is involved. In this there is no librarian is involved, but only the teacher, that is between the colleagues the planning takes place. So that should be approached in the same manner as with the teacher librarian. They expect that 2 or more classes are now involved. That means the student also involved or classes are also involved, so that the teacher can make out the comparison, what is the main comparison between the data, what is the main comparison between the control unit, that is also taken up for the various units. So each teacher brings the special talents that can be used, and the team approach also divides the labor and lighten the workload. That is how to make the labor and how to divide the labor and the tighten the workload. That is what is the main workload that is being divided into multiple parts. And after the unit, the planning is complete. Each teacher adapts the unit to the needs of the student. So after the planning is complete, every teacher adapts that what is the need to the student, what is the main category of the student. This is one of the example. In this, the teacher guides the student. Now, if I am all alone? That is, what can I do if I am all alone? So that is also one of the tasks. If the teacher is all alone, that is, there is no teacher librarian, there is no peer group, that is the colleagues. So what the teacher can do? So what can I do if I am all alone? So teachers who are new to the integrating research are advised to focus on the teacher directed approach to implement the research activity. So research activity does not include all the stages and the skill. For example, a teacher can provide the information related to the planning stage to the student and then have a student practice to the stage number 2, that is the information retrieval skill of locating the resources. That is a better approach if the skill is integrated with the classroom activity. That means if there are multiple students that are very good student, or we can say the creamy students, so make the comparisons, make the integrated approach, or let them contribute some of the integrated approach with the various teachers. Now I am hot. How do I start? So what are the various steps by which we can start the activities? So there are four steps that is available, that is used. So the step number one is a curriculum objective. That is, what is the main objective? What is the curriculum objective by which we can send the report, by which we can access the report? That is a step number one. That is a curriculum objectives. Then step number two is the student need. That is, what is the need of the student? That is the student need. So step one, that is the curriculum objective. That is, what must I teach? That is, what must I teach? Then the step number two, that is the student needs. That is, what are their needs? What is the need of the student? That is, what are their needs? Then the step number three is the resources. That is, what are the resources that is available? So one is the curriculum objective. That is, what is the main objective of the curriculum? Then what are the various needs of the student? What are the student needs? What are the various resources? That is step number three. That is the resources that is available. So what resources are available? Then the step number four, that is the research skills. Then the last one is the implementation. That is how to implement the concept. So there are four steps that is available. One is the curriculum objective, one is the student needs, one is the resources, one is the research skill, then last one is the implementation. So first of all, there is a step one, that is, what should I teach? Being a teacher, I should plan out the lecture first of all before delivering to you. I plan out that what is the main curriculum objective, what should I teach in the Edexcel, because if there is no curriculum objective, if I am coming without any planning to the class, you ask any question, I will confuse. That is how I can answer. So that is not the way. So before coming to the class, I have to plan out the lecture, that is what I am going to teach in the class. That is step number one, that is the curriculum objectives. Then step number two is the student needs. That is, what are the needs of the student? That is step number two. Then step number three is the resources. That is, what are the various resources that is used? That is, what are the various resources? Then the step number four is research skills. That is, what are the various skills that is used? Then next is the implementation. That is how to implement the concepts, how to implement the rules. So carrying out the objective, needs, what are the resources that is available, what are the various skills that is used for the research, that is the research skills, and how to implement these into the physical activity, that is how to implement the concept. This is the figure number 5, that is the preparing for the research, that is what is the main preparation of the research. So again compiling, step number 1 is the curriculum objective, 2 is the needs, 3 is the resources, 4 is research skills, 5 is the implementations. There are 5 stages that is used in this one. There are 5 steps that is used in this one. And some steps that mirror the research model and stages and that have proven to be successful when implementing an introductory level research activity are. So what are the various steps that is used in the research model and the stages that is very successful in implementing an introductory level are. So these are the various steps, or stages that is used in the various stages that is carried out in this one. So these are the various stages in which these steps are followed. So let's see what are the various steps that is followed between the different stages. So some steps that mirror the research model and the stages and that are proven to be successful and when implementing an introductory research activity plan. That is, these are the various activities that is very useful in implementing the research. So stage number 1 is the planning. So in the planning, so first point is decide in which unit you will begin your research breakthrough. That is, First of all, there is a planning phase, that is a stage one. In this we have to decide, or the teacher have to decide, that is from where you will begin your research breakthrough. That is, decide in which unit. In which unit means in which part you will begin your research breakthrough. Then decide on the scope and the end point or end product of the research activity. That is, what is the scope and what is the end product of the research activity. That is, decide on the scope and the end product of the research activity. Then stage number 2 is the information retrieval. That is, how to retrieve the information. That is the information retrieval. In this, the third phase is used. In this, the third step is used. That is, select the appropriate resources and the plan for their use. That means this is also one of the step, that is one of the stage that is covered in the introductory level. That is, which technology must be used. What are the various resources that would be used. So select the appropriate resources from the so many resources and plan for their use. And the research activity may also be, or may have to be redefined at this point to take into the account available resources. That is, what are the various available resources that is carried out between the various terms, between the various content that is carried out between the various redefined concepts. So that activities must be redefined at this point to take into the account available resources. Then the fourth point is, determine the order in which the unit and the research activity will be taught. That is, what is the main order in which the research activity must be taught. That is a part of the information processing, not the part of the information retrieval. So in this, we have to decide that what is the main part in which the information activity will be taught. That means what is the sequence by which we can taught the activity, by which we can regenerate the activity. That is, determine the order in which the unit and the research activity will be taught. Then determine which research skills will be stressed. That is, what are the various research skills that is stressed upon the information processing. That is, what are the various research skills that must be, or that must be used, that must be stressed. Then decide where. That is, where means the place, either in the classroom, either in the library, etc. the activity will occur. So decide where the activity will occur. Then stage number 4 is the information sharing. That is, stage number 4, that is how to share the information. So introduce the activity to the class as an integral part of the classroom study. So whatever the activity I am planning, that is that I made to the as a part of the integrated approach, or as a part of the integrated part of the classroom studies. Then next is monitor the student. That is a part of the stage number 5, that is evaluation. So monitor the students' work as they apply related research skills. So what are the student work, what they have done to apply on the related research skills. That is, what are the various skills by which they can apply. So monitor the students' work. So analyze the student work as they apply the related research skills. Then evaluate the students' work on an ongoing basis and determines the appropriateness and availability of resources. So evaluate the student work on an ongoing process. That is, what is an ongoing process? So evaluate the work. That is also a part of the evaluation. That is on an ongoing process, that is on the live basis. For example, if I am giving you an assignment, I will tell you, or I have already told you that if there is any doubt, you can ask as per the task also. That is also the part of the on the ongoing basis, on a regular basis. So evaluate the student work on an ongoing basis and determine the appropriateness and availability of the resources and the success of the research activity. Encourage the student self evaluation on an ongoing process. That is also a part. So also encourage the student self motivation part. That is, yes, you can do it, yes, you can do it. That means only to integrate, or we can say only to enhance or motivate the student, that you can go on, you can do it on an ongoing basis. Then decide on methods of improving the objective of the assignment. Focus on increasing the student autonomy. That means decide on what are the various modes, what are the various methods that you should use to improve the objective of the assignment. That is, what is the main objective of using the assignment, of improving the objective of the assignment. That is how we can focus on increasing the students' autonomy. So decides on the methods of improving the objective of the assignment that is used for increasing the students' autonomy. That is the step number or stage number 5. So these are the 10 parts, or we can say that these are the 10 activities that must be carried out within the 5 stages. There are 5 stages and there are total 10 activities. Now, next question is, what do you have to help me with my research activities? That is, what resources you have? What are the what tools do you have to help me in my research activity? That is, what do you have to help me with my research activity? So the Junior Higher Social Studies, that is a TRM 1989 P11, provide the following suggestions to initiate a research activity. That is, what is the research activity that is carried out? That is creating the or initiate a research activity. So first one is the library research. That is the first part, that is how to use the library research. I'm just coming within 2 minutes. So first is the library research. That is how can we do the library research? So student needs to be taught how to gather the information, not just assigned a task. That means student needs to taught, that is how he or she is able to gather the information. So student needs to be taught to how to gather the information, not just assign a task, but how to gain the information, how to gather the information, how to develop the information. That is not it is a task, but it is a knowledge, or we can say it is an interest to gain the knowledge, to gather the information. And students should be given practice developing the research questions by doing it as a class and proceeding to the students thinking of their own. That is, they are doing the research questions in their activities in at a class and proceeding to the student that is thinking of their own. So student should be given practice developing the research questions by doing it as a class and proceeding to the student thinking of their own. And there are two important steps that is used in the researching are the compile the questions before the research, that is compilation of the various questions before the research, and answer the questions in own words, that is not copied or make notes in point form, that is a useless or unless footnote. So first is two important steps that is used to gather the information. Now what are the two important steps that is used? So first step is compile the questions before the research. So compilation is also done before the research. Answer the questions in their own words. That means first of all compiling the questions before the research, then answer the questions in their own words. That is not copied or make notes in a point form. That is a useless footnote. So there is no usage of the footnote. So this is also one of the important steps that is used in the researching. And by teaching the students how to do written assignment. So this is one of the important concepts. So for your point of view also, from your point of view also, that is whenever I teach the student that is how to do the written assignment, both the research and the writing, plagiarism may be eliminated. I mean the repeated words may be eliminated. So this is how to write the assignment, that is guided by the teacher to the students, both the research and the writing. That is how to take the research as well as the writing that is taken up. That is the research activity and writing activity that is taken up for the research and the writing. That is that in this the repetitive words may be used. So in the first part, that is in the planning stage, so what is the main step, or we can say in the stage 1, that is the planning, how to write the assignment, how I can, being a teacher, I can guide you as a student. That is choosing a subject. First of all, choose a subject, that is on which subject you want to write the assignment. That may be a C programming, that may be a C++, that may be a database, that may be any subject. So first of all, choose a subject on which you want to write the assignment. Then develop the questions for the research, that is what are the various questions that we'll use. So develop a question, that is who, why, what, where, when, how. So at least you should develop the questions related to the research, related to the planning. That means how it is done, who is able to do it, why it is done, what are the various consequences that is used in this one, where it is done, when it is done, how it is done. So these are the various questions. So you should have, or you must have developed the various questions for the research, that is the who, why, what, where, when, how. This is also a part of the planning. So in the planning, first of all you have to choose the subject, then you have to develop the questions that is related to the what, why, when, who, where. And then second part is identifying the sources of information, that is what are the various sources that is available by which you can gain the information, by which you can gain the data about the assignment. That is identifying the various resources, or what are the various sources for getting the information, that is identifying the sources of the information. The next is locating and gathering the information, that is how to locate and how to gather the information. That includes the print as well as the non-print correct. That is, if the information is in the print form, that is in the hard copy form, that it's okay. Non-print form, that is in the soft copy form, that is also okay. So locating and gathering the information, that is also the part of that is how to write the assignment, or we can say the mm advice that is used for writing the information. So locating and gathering the information. The next is the reading, that includes the interpreting. That is how to read the concept and how to interpret the concept, how to analyze the concept. That is the main related ideas, then relationships, then cartoons, pictures, tables, charts, graphs, maps. So for the analysis part, there are multiple ideas, multiple relationships that is carried out, and there are cartoons, picture, charts, table, graph that is also used for representation. So teacher also guide the student that you should use the related ideas, relationship, pictures, cartoon in the assignment also. Also includes the maps, that is what is the map activity that is carried out within the concept, that is also the part of the reading, that is also part of the interpreting, or we can say the analyzing. Then next is listening and the viewing, that is how to listen and how to view the content so that the content will be attractive. So what are the various methods to view the content in an interpreting way, that is also a part of the interpreting. That includes the point of view, that is what is the main point of view for the writing assignment, what is the main target, what is the main scenario, what is the main role for which we can write the assignment. That is a point of view. The next is the purpose or the message, that is what is the main purpose of writing the assignment, what is the main message that is given by the assignment, what is the main role. For example, I am giving you an assignment on the C language, right? What is the what is the main purpose, that is you should be able to write or you have a practice to write the C languages, that is also the one of the main aims. So what the main purpose is, that to write the C languages, to write the C language programs. And next is the bias or the slant. So you should not be biased after viewing the concept, that your assignment is good, this assignment is not. There is no biasness among this. The next is organizing the information. So first is planning, we have done, identifying the sources we have done, locating the sources we have done, reading we have done, listening we have done. Now next is the organizing the information. That is how to organize the information. That includes the classifying, categorize, and the sequence. That is how to classify into various level. So first of all, divide the concept into the first level, then divide the next concept into the next level, and so on, so on, so on. So when we want to organize the information, that means make the proper arrangement of information. That includes first of all the classify, then categorize, and then next is the sequence. That is how to classify, how to categorize, and how to make the sequence. That is first one of the important part. So classify means first of all divide, then categorize means divide into various category, then sequence means provide the sequences. Then next is the note taking or the note making. This is also one of the important concept, that is whatever you plan, whatever you think, make a note of it. Make a note making habit. So that is the note making or the note taking. I'm so sorry. So the answers to research questions written in the student own words are not copied on only in the or in the point form. That means you can organize the information when you write the notes, when you make the note making habit. So if I'm telling you something on a green board, on a whiteboard, or in the online method also, you will able to write the various steps, that yeah, this is okay, this is fine, this is fine, this is fine. So written in the student's own words, not copied or in a point form. Then for organizing also, there is a webbing, mind mapping, or the charting. That is, the webbing is also used for the organizing the information. Mind mapping, the mind should be clear, and there should be a proper mind mapping, that whatever you write, that is in the mind, not that you are writing something and your mind plays something. No, 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 that is not. But you are physically there, you are also conceptually your mind is also there. That is a mind mapping or the charting. You can also make the chart, you can also prepare the chart for organizing the information. That is a charting. The next part is analyzing, evaluating, and summarizing the information. That is, analyze the data, evaluate the data, summarize the information. That is how to analyze the data, how to evaluate the data, and how to summarize the information. That is the main part. That is analyzing, evaluating, and summarizing the information. That includes the how to develop the conclusions, generalizations, then make the decisions. That is the part number 7. That is analyzing, evaluating, and summarizing the information. That is for analyzing, evaluating, that is the last step. So you should have to develop the conclusions or the generalization. That is what we have covered in the assignment, and make the decisions. Now, what do you have to help me with my research activity? That is a continue of the last chapter. So this is a checklist that is carried out within this. Now, the following checklist will assist the teachers in determining the focus of a research activity. That is, what is the main focus of the research activities, and what are the various considerations that should be used to design the research activities. That includes all research stages and the skills, or they can be used for the research activities which focus on a smaller component of the research skills continuum. So the following checklist will assist the teachers in determining, that is, what is the main focus, or determining the what is the main role of a research activity. And these considerations should be used, or must be used to design the research activities. That includes the research stages and the skills, or they can be used for the research activities with focus on the smaller component of the research skills. That is, what are the various components of the research skill, what are the various smaller components of the research skills continuum. Now, see appendix for the copy read form. That is the copy ready form. This is the copy ready form. That is a checklist that is used. So that includes the teacher guide for the planning research. That is what is the teacher guide for the planning research. That is a checklist that is used. First is the guideline and the consideration. That is what is the main guideline and what is the main consideration that is carried out. That is the guidelines and the consideration. So the first part is the assignment, that includes the curriculum fit. So whatever the curriculum, whatever the content that is used, so you have to fit the curriculum. Then format, that what is the main format of the assignment. For example, if I am giving you assignment, the format is same. At the top that is written as a BTEC, then there is objective, purpose, unit name, and so on. So there are some fixed format that is used with the assignment. Then next is the research procedures to be taught. That is, what are the various research procedures that is to be taught. Then next is the evaluation. That is how to evaluate the content. That is also a part. So if you look the assignment that I have given you, computer system, at last there is a page for the evaluation. That is what you have done, what you have covered. That is the evaluation part. Then the purpose, that is also clear. That includes the introduce, review. That is the scenario is reviewing. Then expand the information and the knowledge. That is, what is the information, what is the scenario that is available in this one. The next one is the focus. That is how to focus on the concept. That is to focus. That includes, these are the various examples. That is the general information, subject specific, opinion, issue based. So these are the four parts of the purpose that is used. That is the purpose. So one is the curriculum fit, then format, then research procedures to be taught, then evaluation, then process. So these are the 5 parts that is taken out in this one. So this is the part of the assignment. Then next part is the student. That is the next part. That is the students. That includes ability and the stage of development. That is, what is the ability and what is the various stages of development. That is from the student point of view. That is ability and the stages of the development. Next part is the learning preferences. That is also the part of the one of the guideline or the consideration that must be focused by the student. That is the learning preferences. You should not learn more than one subject at the same time, but focus on only one subject so that you can, or you get expert on that subject. That is the student. That is the learning preferences. What are their learning preferences? Because if you like the theory, that is a different issue. If you like the programming, that is a different issue. Then next is the social grouping. Then next is the cooperative learning skills. That is, what is the cooperative learning skill. That is how to learn in the cooperative way, how to learn in the coordination with others. That is a cooperative learning skills. Then the next part is resources. That is the next part. That is what are the various resources that is available. That includes the school library, other library, teacher librarian, other resource people, community, others. These are the various resources that is used with this one. That is what are the various resources that is available. That includes the school library, other library, teacher librarian, other resource people, community, others. Now, that is the part number one, that is the guideline and the consideration. Now, what are the various goals about this one? So first is the concept, that is what are the various concepts that is used in this one. So what are the various goals in using this one, that is the concepts. So to apply or practice the research procedure, that is how do you apply, how do you apply for the research procedure that is used, that is to apply or practice the research procedures. Then next is to improve the decision making ability, that is what are the various decision making abilities and how to improve the decision making abilities that is used in the curriculum activities. Then to improve the decision making ability, that is a concept. Then in the skills that is used within this one. So to plan for the research, that is what are the various skills that is required, that is to plan for the research that is carried out within this one. Then to work in a variety of social situations, that is what are the various skills by which you can use in this one. Then to supports a personal opinion, that is also supported the personal opinion, that is also part of the personal opinion. So these are the various skills that is a part of the goals. The next is the attitude, that is what is the main attitude. So to develop an appreciation for knowledge and the culture, that is the attitude that is carried out. So how to develop an appreciation for knowledge and the culture. Then to recognize that a variety of opinions exist, that is what are the various opinions that exist, to recognize them in a variety of opinions. Then to develop the cooperative learning skills, that is what are the various cooperative learning skills, what are the various methods that is used in the cooperative learning skills. So to develop the cooperative learning skills. Then to experience the pride in creating a product desired to improve the future effort, that is what are the various future efforts, or how to develop, how to recognize the what are the various opinions that exist, or what are the various cooperative learning skills that exist that becomes a part of the attitude. So and develop an attitude, develop an opinion for this task, so that they are just you are very efficient in this one, you are very efficient in getting the research. And to develop the cooperative learning skills, and to experience the pride in creating a product desired to improve the quality. So to experience the pride in creating a product, so there is a pride in creating the product that is used to improve the future efforts. To understand and value the effective research procedure, that is what are the various research procedures, to understand, that is what are the various effective research procedures, what are the various methods that we are using to improve the research skills. And to appreciate the need for the lifelong learning skills, that is to appreciate what is the we can say what is the main need for the lifelong learning skill, what are the various methods that is used for the lifelong learning skill. So to appreciate the need for the lifelong learning skill, that is what are the various lifelong learning skill that is carried out in this one. This is one of the organization, this is one of the concept in which there is a cooperative learning that is carried out in this one. Now, next question is, what else do you have for me? That is, accept these steps, accept these activities. What are the other activities that is carried out in? What are the various things that you help for me? This I am taking after the break. So let's take a break. Then after that, this topic is taken. That is, what else do you have for me? So let's take a break right now. So come back from the break. Now let's start the session again. The next question is, what else do you have for me? That is, what else except these activities, 10 activities, what else that you have for me, or do you have for me? So planning a research assignment that includes all the research stages and the skills involves several steps. That is, what are the various steps that is included? So that includes all the research stages and the skills that involve the several steps. So teacher may find the following sample research activity unit plan useful. And not only does this outline a unit teaching plan, but it also provides a signpost to be aware of when considering a research activity. That is, how to consider research activities, how to gain the research activities. So teachers must use the sample research activity unit plan. So the plan that is used, that is a sample research activity unit plan, that is very useful. And not only does this outline a unit teaching plan, but it also provides a signpost to be aware of when considering a research activity. And it also includes the planning procedures for the teachers and activities for the students. That is, what are the various planning procedures that is carried out for the teacher, and what are the various activities for the students. And please note that this sample provides a research activity plan that involves all the 5 research stages, and most of the skills are from the research model. That is, what are the various 5 research stages that is used, and what are the various skills that is used for the research model. And depending on your level of risk taking, you may or may not decide to use the total approach in your own first research activity. That is, you have to decide whether you are taking the research or not. That is a research taking process that is also included for the total approach that is carried out in the various research activity that is carried out in the first research activity. And a copy ready planning form is provided in the appendix. So there is appendix that is available at the end. So a copy ready form is available, and that can be used for any research activity regardless of the level or the skill emphasis. That is, what are the various activities regardless of, or what are the various skill activities, such activities that is used, that is regardless of the level or the skill emphasis. That is, whatever the skill emphasis that is used. So that is, so that is used for the research activities regardless of the level or the skill emphasis. So a copy ready planning form is also available in this one. Now this is the sample research activity unit plan. This is the subject first of all. Then there is a theme. In the theme there is a food. So this is the subject, that is the language, arts and the health. That is the subject name. Then what is the theme? That is the food. So the theme, that means what is the main topic, that is the foods. Then what is the timeline? That is the 3 weeks, that is 1 hour per day. That is the timeline. Then grade, what is the grade of this one, what is the level of this one, that is a 3. Then in the stage 1, or there are different stages that is carried out. So what are the various stages that is established in this one? So first is the planning that is carried out. That is carried out for establishing the resources. So for this takes 30 minutes. And what are the various strategies that is used? So the first is the brainstorm the list of food. That is, what are the various list of food that is carried out in this one? What is the carried out for this one? So brainstorm a list of the foods, then brainstorm and categorize the food research questioning, that is focus on where it comes from, how it is prepared, how it is stored and the delivered. So that is the first part. That is one of the strategies that is used to how to brainstorm a list of the food. That is, what are the various foods that is available. So brainstorm a list of the foods, then brainstorm and categorize what are the various food research questions. That is, what are the various research questions, that is the food research question that is used, and the focus is on where it comes from. That is, where it comes from means the food is coming from where, then how it is prepared, how it is stored and delivered. And also provides a sample of soya beans, rice, wheat example for added the student awareness. So that means only the establishing the topic. The main topic is the language, arts and the health, and the theme, the topic is the health. So this is brainstorming what are the various list of the foods that is used. That is the brainstorming the list of the foods. Then brainstorming and categorize the food research question. That is, what are the various food research question that is used, that focus on where the where it comes from. That is, from where the food comes, how it is prepared, and how it is stored and the delivered. How it is prepared, how it is stored and the delivered. That is also the one of the question. And also provides a sample of the soya beans, rice, wheat, etc. for the added self-aware or student awareness. The next is the resources. That is, what are the various resources. That is the teacher's hints, that collect these or these video resources, other the learning resources for the stage 3. That is the Harriet's magic hat, that is the pasta maker, soya beans, the wonder. So these are the various video that is used, that is resource that is used for making the food. Then next is the soya beans, that is the wonder beans. that is a then bread. What was it before? And it was bread. What was it before? It was ice cream. Lots of or loaf of bread, peanuts, the rice farmer. That is the next part. That is the teacher hint. That is what are the various resources that is available with the teachers. Then the next stage is the identify the information sources. That is what are the various information sources that is carried out. So brainstorm the likely information sources. That is what are the various likely information that is carried out. Then browse through the sources. That is browse means what are the various sources that is available. So browse them, or we can say identifying them, search them from the various sources that is used to identify the information sources. The next is students should select food to study and locate at least two sources. So it's the responsibility of the student to search or select the food. That is what is the food item that is selected to study and locate at least two sources. That is there should be at least two sources that is available. Then next is the identify the audience and the presentation format. That is what is the audience behavior and what is the presentation format that is carried out. That is also 30 minutes. In this, the list preparation formats, that is the poster review, mobile new illustrated, report review, diagram review. So these are the various questions, these are the various format that is used, that is the list presentation formats. Then next is establish the evaluation criteria. That is the next part, that is what is the evaluation criteria, that is also the 20 minutes. And all these criteria are 30 minutes. That is what are the various presentation format, what are the various posters, review, mobile new technology, illustrated the various concept, diagram, reviews, etc. The next is establish the evaluation criteria. That is what is the evaluation criteria that is taken place. That includes the brainstorm and list by priority the evaluation criteria. That is what is the main priority that is used for the evaluation criteria. So brainstorm and list what is the priority that is based on the evaluation criteria. So establish the evaluation criteria. Brainstorm means take the opinion of everyone, that means discuss with everyone, that is a brainstorming. And list what is the main priority that is given in the evaluation criteria, what is the main method for evaluating the evaluation criteria. The next is a review process. That means review the research plan with the students to identify the important steps in the planning. That is what are the various research plan that is used with the students to identify what are the various important steps in the planning that is carried out in this activity. So review the research plan with the students to identify what are the various resources, what are the various steps that is used in the resources. Then check each student source list. That is what are the various sources that is used. That is a list out what are the various available resources. That is a review the process. And the titles of the student learning resources identifying above were provided through the courtesy of the evaluation or Elaine Basque and the Duncan Anderson. These are the various activities that is carried out. So this is the stage 1, that is the planning, in which there are multiple stages, multiple factors. The next stage is the information retrieval. That is how to retrieve the information. That includes the stage that is a locate resources. What is the strategy? Review use of the table of the content index. How to locate the resources? So first of all, review what are the various table of content and review use of the table of the content. What is the main index that is carried out? Then in the collect resources, instruct the student how to load the previewer, care for the film strips, use the VCR, that is the video cassette recorder, then how to use the audio cassette recorder. One is a video cassette recorder, one is a audio cassette recorder. So that is the information retrieval, that is how to use them, what are the various content, that is how to locate the resources, how to collect the resources, that is how to load the previewer, care for the film stream, use the VCR, use the audio cassette recorder. The next is the review process. That review what I have learned about locating the information, that is what have you learned about how to locate the information, that is a review process. Then elicit suggestions for different resources, that is what are the various different resources. Mark the preliminary list of sources for each student to ensure the adequate resources, that is what are the various adequate resources that is available, that is a review process. So what we have learned about locating the information, that is a review process. Elicit the suggestions for different resources. Mark the preliminary list of sources for each student to ensure the adequate resources, that is what are the various adequate resources that is carried out, that is the review process. So first is the locate resources, then next is the collect resources, and next is the review process. And what is the resources that is available from the teacher hand, that is collect the AV equipment for the demonstration. The next stage is the stage number 3, that is information processing. That is how to process the information, that is the information processing. So the first part is choose the relevant information. That what is the relevant information that is carried out. So choose the relevant information among the various information. That is a part of the of that is one of the stage of the one of the activity scale of the stage number 3. In this, that is included, that is review the note taking by modeling how to select the information on sample food. That is what are the various information that is carried out to sample the food, to use the note making, that is make the notes, that is the note making, to select the information on the sample food, and there is a sheet that is used on the overheads. The next is the evaluate the information. That is also a part of the information processing. That is how to evaluate the information. That is of the 3 R's. That is the maximum R's is given to the evaluate the information. So distribute the note-taking sheets and have a student begin to gather the information. Now, this next content is that distribute the note-making sheet. That is, what are the various note-making sheets, and have the student begins to gather the information. That is, evaluating the information. The next is organize and record the information. So first is organize and record the information. That is of the 1 hour, that assist the students individually as needed. That is, what are the role that is played out. So assist every student individually as and when needed. That is, organize and record the information. The next is the make connection and the inferences. That is also of the 1 hour. So the target individual who needs special help or extension, that is the individual and the small group works. That is the target on the individual that needs the special extension, help or the extension. For example, the individual and the small group work. The next is the create product. The next part is the create product. That is of the 1 hour. The student draft the presentation format, that is also acceptable. Then revise and edit, that is of the 1 or the 2 hours. That includes the review editing skills, focus on the content. Then student provide the answers to all the 3 questions. Then student prepare the final draft, that is a 1 to 2 hours. Then evaluate the written product. That is, evaluate the written product, that is also carried out, that is for the revise and the edit. Then next is the review process. Then review what was learned and discuss the transferability. That is, what was learned and what has been transferred, what are discussed among the transferability. That is a review process. The next is the stage number 4, that is the information sharing. That is stage number 4, that is the information sharing. That is how to share the information. The first part is the present the findings. That is how to present the findings, or what are the various roles to present the findings. The strategies are that is used is the review the presenter and the audience skills. That is, what are the various skills that is used to the presenter or as a presenter and the audience skill. That is, review the presenter and the audience skills. Then next, students practice the presentation with the hubby or buddy, not hubby. I'm so sorry. So students practice the presentation. So it's a responsibility of student to practice the presentation with the buddy. Then students present the information, that is 3 to 4 a day. That is, they present the information in a 3 to 4 per day. Present the information means present the category, that is at least 3 or 4 times in a day. Then focus on the positive comments and or question. That is, focus on the what are the various positive comment that is used with the question. That is positive. Focus on the positive comments and the questions. Then teacher evaluates. This is also one of the part, that is a present the findings. Now demonstrate the appropriate behavior. Student respond in the written form. That is how to respond in the written form. Then review process. That review the skills and the strategies for presenting and discuss their further application. That is a review process. That is, review the skills, what are the various skills required, what are the various strategies that is used for presenting and discuss their further application. That is a review process. And what are the resources that is used? That is a teacher hint, that is the books are available in the library for the presentation. Arrange, that is a what is arrangement, that is a table for demonstration. that is a table that is used for the demonstration, that is also arranged, and the overhead projector by which the student or the teacher will give the presentation. So projector is very must for this one, and everything, every wire, every equipment that is occupied or that is used with the projector, that also be available or that also be one of the part. Then the next stage, last stage, is the evaluation, and the first scale is evaluate the product, that takes 50 minutes. That includes evaluate the throughout assignment, that is the throughout the assignment how to evaluate the content. So evaluate the throughout assignment, that is the first part. Then review steps in the research, that is what are the various steps that is used. So review the each and every steps in the research. Then C part is elicit what was learned during the research activity, that is find out what was learned during the research activity. Focus on the skills and the strategies, that is both social and the research. Then discuss how these skills and strategies will transfer, that is what are the various skills and what are the various strategies that will be used to transfer, that is discuss how these skills and strategies will be transferred. So these are the various strategies that is used. So first of all, evaluate throughout the assignment, then review the steps in the research, then elicit what has learned during the research activity, focus on the skills, strategies, and discuss how these skills are used and managed, that will get the transfer. What is the teacher hint? That is a revise the checklist and evaluation criteria that is used for the project. That is a part of the evaluation, that is a part of the review process. Now next step is what about more directed help by my student, that is what are the various steps that is held by the student. This topic I am going to take within the next class, that is the tomorrow's class. So that's all for today's session. If there is any doubts, any suggestions, you can ask the doubts from me. So thanks a lot everyone for listening me. We will meet tomorrow with the new concept, that is what are the various directions from the student. So directions